Today's a monumentous day for Fusion, because the new Autodesk Assistant is now available in product as a tech preview. Because this is a tech preview, you should expect some limitations and occasional rough edges. There are already some genuinely time-saving workflows that you can start using right now. We've been heads down building this to help you stay in the flow, getting answers, getting guidance, and in many cases, running actions through natural language that map directly to standard Fusion operations. A quick note on the why. Mainly, why are we introducing Autodesk Assistant? The Assistant isn't here to replace engineering judgment or design creativity. It's built to remove friction with fewer repetitive clicks, some faster answers, and guided assistance in your day-to-day work. Most of the datasets I'll reference in this video are from the newer Fusion sample designs, so if you want to follow along, go ahead and open up one of the files and try the prompts as we go. And one final heads up, Workflow 3.3, Parameters and Design Intent is the standout in my opinion. If you only try one workflow from this guide, make it that one. If you're short on time, here's the skip the video kind of way to get good outputs. Use a 3-part formula. Your goal, what you want to accomplish. Your target, what it should act on, like selected geometry, a body, a specific feature. And your constraints, or anything that you don't want to change. To start, you want to anchor Assistant to the right context. Autodesk Assistant performs best when it has clear context about what you mean. The simplest way is to select geometry first. Before you type, select a face, an edge, or body, or click the timeline feature you want to modify. Then, use this selection language. For example, you can see that Autodesk Assistant has examined the pattern and then given recommended steps for editing, changing the current pattern parameters, making a specific modification, and checking what features this pattern is based on. It also advises that the update tool can safely modify the pattern parameters while maintaining all downstream relationships through automatic timeline management. If you don't know your target specifically, you can also name the target explicitly, such as find any fillets greater than 0.25 millimeters and update them to 0.65 millimeters. We can see that Autodesk Assistant has found the only fillet feature that is greater than 0.25 millimeters. It's then updated it to 0.65 millimeters as requested. Now, a good rule of thumb for any action that creates, modifies, or deletes, you can use a safety pattern of ask, confirm, execute. I want to shell this part. Use the face I have selected as the open face. Tell me what features you'll create, but don't execute until I confirm. Confirm what it says, and then sanity check 3 things. Did it interpret the right target edges or faces? Are the units correct? And is it creating a new feature or editing an existing one, depending on what you intended? You can see from the planned shell feature that it's missing some information. It needs the thickness we would like to create the shell walls. I'll go with 1 millimeter wall thickness, and to go ahead and execute. Let's move over to some full workflows that you can use immediately. Workflow 3.1 is going to be bulk select and modify. And this is where Autodesk Assistant really starts to come into its own with workflows like selecting lots of similar edges or faces, and then applying a consistent change. Let's select an edge. First, we'll select all edges similar to this selected edge. We can see it found a total of 40 edges, including the original one, with a fairly good length tolerance. Then, we're going to add a 0.5 millimeter fillet to them. Now you can see that Autodesk Assistant has figured out that I'm trying to add a 0.5mm fillet to all of these edges, including the adjacent ones. If it ever selects the wrong edges, you can undo and then get more specific. The point here is that you want to let Autodesk Assistant handle those repetitive clicking tasks, and you can focus on what matters, actually designing. Now, as you get more comfortable, you'll start to combine several operations into one prompt, but still using the plan first pattern. Let's try one now. Change the appearance of this body to wood. Create an offset from the selected surface, propose the steps, and wait for confirmation. You can see that Autodesk Assistant is advising that it's going to change only the appearance of the part to wood, and then it needs additional information for creating the offset. I'll go ahead and say offset distance of 0.5mm downwards. Let's give it some ambiguous directions to see how it follows. And go ahead and split the body along that plane too. Okay, so it did understand that downward meant the negative normal direction of the selected face. It advised on a wood appearance, and it said it would go ahead and do the split operation. So yes, proceed with all steps. And there we go. We have the original body split, we have a new construction plane, we have a new feature, we have two resulting bodies from this, and we have an appearance update. Workflow 3.3, Parameters and Design Intent. This is my favorite workflow because it's high impact and it's really easy to overlook when you're moving fast. Now this is one of the few examples you'll see where we start with a blank state canvas. Usually, Autodesk Assistant thrives on having some type of geometry to examine, select, or modify. But in this case, let's try to create a parameter table from scratch. Create all the user parameters I would need to design a phone case, including wall thickness, clearance, corner radius, camera cutout, and so on. Use millimeters, name them clearly, and propose the list before creating them. You can see the resulting 22 parameters covering all aspects of this phone case design. The assistant's given me suggested values based on smartphones and can be adjusted for specific phone models. Let's proceed. Okay, the parameters are now ready to use. Let's take a look. You can see the full length with names, the expressions, and values already placed in it. Now, if you wanted additional guardrails for your existing designs, you could add things such as don't change any existing parameter values, or only add new parameters. The payoff here is huge, because clean parameters unlock smoother downstream workflows, especially as your designs evolve or for when you start thinking about your configurations. You can also use Autodesk Assistant like a model analyst to get fast answers without digging through dialogues or clicking bodies and edges. Let's select this vent. What's the volume of this body? Use cubic millimeters. And there we go. Is approximately 33.11 cubic millimeters. Or how about how many fasteners are in this design? If we open a specific part, we could ask something along the lines of list all the fillet features in this model and point out any that may be too small for downstream manufacturing. we can see that the assistant returns a table with all of the fillets, the radiuses, and whether they're good for the current manufacturing strategy. In this case, it's an injection molded part, so the assistant is advising that a very small radii can cause flow issues and stress concentrations. You can also use Assistant to learn workflows, understand commands, and troubleshoot issues without context switching to external help documentation. Let's try, how do I create a sweep cut? The assistant goes out and searches Fusion's help documentation for information on this specific feature. It then lists out the step-by-step guide to access the sweep tool, and how to set up the profile path, the cut operation, and sweep parameters. Finally, it links out to an external help documentation should you need any more information. For troubleshooting, you can give it evidence where you can. Why did it fail? What did you expect? And what error text did you see? Things like, why are my timeline icons sometimes red? What does it mean? And how do I fix it? And when you need escalation style help, you can use prompts that force actionable checklists. If you say, I'm stuck and I need to resolve this today, give me a diagnostic checklist in a priority order. Part 6. Manufacturing actions, insights, and advice. Let's take a look at the manufacturing environment. Now, you'll get much more useful manufacturing results when you tell the assistant how the part will be made and what constraints matter. You'll want to include the process, whether that's CNC milling, turning, fabrication, or 3D printing, the material and any tolerances or fit requirements, plus any machine constraints like 3-axis or 5-axis, your max stock size, and tool limits of the machine you're working with. Here's a starter prompt. Review this part for 3-axis CNC machinability. Call undercuts, deep pockets, sharp internal corners, and thin walls. Suggest changes that preserve overall dimensions and function. You can see the assistant beginning to rotate the body and take snapshots to fully understand the geometry involved. Let's take a look at the results. From a 3-axis CNC machinability analysis, there's a critical issue of undercuts in a set location. There's also a concern around deep pockets and a concern around sharp internal corners. Let's create a manufacture model of this part. Identify all the holes that are greater than 10 millimeters and apply a purple appearance. Anything less than 10 millimeters, apply a red appearance. Then apply drilling operations. Rename the resulting toolpaths appropriately, and confirm with me before generating the toolpath. Alright, it successfully created a manufacturing model, a setup, and drilling operations. It's also renamed the drilling options to large holes, small holes, and counterbore large holes, as well as counterbore small holes. It's applied the colors, and it's ready for toolpath generation confirmation. Let's go ahead and have it generate the toolpaths. Alright, it looks like it's generated 3 out of the 4 toolpaths. It also gave information on the counterbore small holes operation that didn't generate a toolpath, indicating the holes might not require that, there's operation parameters that need additional adjustment, or the holes might be simple holes rather than counterbores. Part 7. Onboarding users, permissions, and collaboration. The CAD admin workflows here depend on entitlements and how your company is set up with Fusion. The team management capabilities and permission-based workflows will require a collaborative editing hub and standard Fusion project permissions. The assistant can help you understand what's required and guide you through the steps, even if it can't complete every permission-based action automatically. Here's an example. Let's list all editors in the air fryer folder of the 2025 datasets project. Here you can see I have one user that's an editor on this folder in this project. Let's try another workflow. Let's rename the air fryer folder to air fryer dataset. The assistant asks for confirmation as we're renaming a folder in a project. Perfect. That folder was successfully renamed. It also notes that all members and permissions in the folder remain unchanged. There's a ton of other examples in this vein. You can invite specific users to the folders or projects as viewers or editors. You can change the roles of entire groups, such as engineering team to editors of a specific folder, or show specific access for a user on various projects and folders throughout the hub. Part 8. File workflows. The assistant can also help with the work that goes around the model, like exporting, formatting, and sharing. For example, how do I export this as a step file? What are the safest settings for sharing with a supplier? And there we go. Autodesk Assistant has provided recommendations and steps for exporting this as a step file and for sharing with a vendor. Autodesk Assistant is here to help turn natural language into guided actions inside of Fusion. Remember, as a tech preview, coverage will evolve, and you may hit limitations. When something isn't supported or doesn't behave as expected, ask Assistant to explain what it can and can't do yet. Walk you through the manual steps, and then refine your prompt with clearer targets or constraints. The biggest wins come from anchoring your request with context, using ask, confirm, execute phrases for actions, and leaning on Assistant for bulk edits, model inspection, and CAM toolpath management, where repetitive clicks add up fast. Finally, if you would like to help improve Autodesk Assistant, you can thumbs up or thumbs down responses and leave a quick comment. Our team reviews that feedback and uses it to prioritize fixes and improvements. And yes, real people read it. And if you want even earlier previews and more direct collaboration, please consider joining the Insider program to see these updates sooner and help shape of what we build next.